Angel Reese's defining moment didn't come on the court. It came under the harsh, unflinching lights of a fashion runway. There, confidence collided with contradiction. What was meant to be an act of empowerment became a mirror, reflecting the inconsistencies in her message and her image. That mirror didn't flatter, it exposed. It showed a young star who had built her rise on rebellion, but forgot one simple truth. Rebellion without integrity eventually becomes performance. Angel had every ingredient to be a generational icon. She had charisma, influence, and a presence that could fill any room. She understood how to make the internet move, how to stir emotion, how to turn moments into movements. But in her rise, something subtle shifted. What once felt like authenticity started to look like calculation. The empowerment she preached began to feel like marketing copy. The same audience that once adored her passion began to sense that every post, every outfit, every quote was less about purpose and more about attention. The betrayal fans felt wasn't about what she wore that night. It was about how it contradicted everything she had once demanded respect for. Angel had built her image on authenticity, on being unapologetically herself in a world that often tries to silence strong women. Yet that night, her image looked more curated than courageous. The message that once inspired millions now felt hollow. And maybe that's what makes her story so painful. It's not that she failed, but that she didn't need to. For years, Angel Reese represented more than basketball. She stood for self-belief, confidence, and representation. Young athletes, especially young women, saw themselves in her boldness. She gave voice to those who had been told to stay quiet, to be polite, to know their place. But true empowerment isn't just about being loud. It's about being consistent. It's about living the same truth in every room, under every spotlight. When Angel's authenticity fractured, her message did too. And once those cracks appeared, the world was quick to pour in judgment, mockery, and doubt. Her silence since the backlash has only amplified the noise. Each time she posts, the comments resurrect that moment. Every caption becomes a battlefield of reminders and ridicule. Her attempts to pivot, to reshape her narrative, feel forced, like a brand trying to outrun its own shadow. But redemption doesn't come from pretending nothing happened. It comes from standing still long enough to face the truth head-on. Angel's story has evolved beyond a single controversy. It's become a reflection of modern celebrity culture, where image is a product and truth is negotiable. In the age of social media, authenticity is currency. And Angel, knowingly or not, spent hers too quickly. She turned vulnerability into branding, turning what made her human into content. The confidence that once drew admiration now feels weaponized, and the rebellion that once inspired change now fuels controversy. The same spotlight that crowned her Bayou Barbie also became the furnace that burned her image to the ground. But ashes can give way to rebirth. Beneath the noise, there's still potential for renewal, for humility, for growth. Because people love comebacks just as much as they love watching someone fall. The same fans who mock today could be cheering again tomorrow. If Angel learns that real empowerment doesn't come from shock value, but from sincerity. What she does next will determine everything. If she stays silent, the internet will write her ending for her. But if she chooses honesty, if she speaks not as a brand, not as a performer, but as a person who's learned from her contradictions, she could reclaim what she lost. Redemption begins when ego gives way to humility. If Angel Reese steps back into the spotlight as herself, flawed, growing, real, she can shift the narrative. Because people don't expect perfection. They crave authenticity. They want to believe that public figures can stumble and still stand again. The world has seen this pattern before. Athletes, artists, and icons fall into the same trap, believing their persona is stronger than their truth. They forget that the power of their platform comes from connection, not control. Angel's greatest opportunity now is to rediscover that connection. She doesn't need to reinvent herself. She just needs to return to the version of Angel who inspired in the first place, the one who played with fire, not to burn others, but to light a path. Her runway moment might have been her lowest, but it could also become the start of her rebirth. Because the same light that exposed her can also redeem her if she steps into it differently this time. Not as the provocateur, not as the carefully curated image of rebellion, but as a woman who's learned what authenticity really means. A woman who can admit that fame seduced her, that attention became addictive, that mistakes were made. And in that honesty, she might discover what true empowerment looks like, not performance, but peace. In many ways, Angel Reese's story is the story of modern fame itself. It's about how quickly we crown heroes and how even faster we crucify them. It's about the fragile balance between confidence and arrogance, between authenticity and performance. She became a symbol not just of empowerment, but of the pressures that come with it, the expectation to always be loud, bold, unbothered. But no one can live inside a brand forever. Eventually, the human underneath demands to breathe. So maybe Angel's fall isn't an ending, it's an unmasking. Maybe this is her chance to remind the world that she's more than a headline or a hashtag. She's a person who stumbled under the same weight that fame puts on everyone. If she can face that truth with humility, she could turn her story from controversy to comeback, because redemption doesn't come from erasing your past, it comes from owning it. And if Angel Reese ever finds the courage to do that, she won't just win back fans. She'll win back herself. What do you think? Can Angel Reese rise again after this PR disaster, or has her image been permanently damaged? Does she deserve another chance to prove that growth and grace still exist in sports culture? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the stories shaping the world of sports and celebrity culture.